Hey guys, welcome back, and today I thought I would share another collection video with you, and this is my Wet n Wild eyeshadow collection. So I'm going to try and be as succinct as possible. I know that I like to talk. I am sorry, I am overly verbal. But yeah, if you like collection videos and you just are curious, and I just find them soothing. I don't know why. For me, like, I'll put them on and I'll just fall asleep to them. I just find collection videos soothing. So I figured I would go ahead and just show you what I had in no particular order, and yeah, let's get started. All right, guys, so the first one I have, which I think is just an awesome addition to anybody's collection, is the Comfort Zone palette. We all know it. We all love it. It's beautiful for fall. This one is permanent, and you can still get it in the drugstore, which I highly recommend that you do if you are interested in it. The next one we have is also beautiful, and I had to repurchase this one because I broke my first one. And this is the Petal Pusher palette. This is, again, please excuse my fingernails. I just did my Wet n Wild Autumn Lush and Sequins and Stardust collection, and I just went ahead and swatched the nail polishes. That's what they look like, so that's why my nails look like that. Beautiful purple palette. I think this is a gorgeous palette. It is definitely more complete than the Comfort Zone palette because you are getting a couple mattes in here, or at least satiny mattes. Beautiful if you like these purple eyes. You guys know I love a great purple smoky eye every now and then, and I think this, again, is just, the quality of these shadows are just fantastic for the drugstore. So I really like that one. That is definitely a classic. And then this one, I love. This one, they don't sell anymore, and I don't know why, because it is so good. If you have this one in your collection, guys, bust it out. It's perfect. This is called the Blue Had Me at Hello. This teal is super, super pretty. This deep, like, sparkly blue. I knew this was going to turn into a swatch video. I love this palette. I think it's so gorgeous. Vintage or Tacky, Court Vintage or Tacky did a 4th of July look with this palette, and I was like, okay, I gotta get it, and then I got it, and I don't regret it. No regrets. No regrets. Next we have the Poster Child palette, which has got just mainly mattes in it. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't opened this one yet. Guys, I do collect Wet n Wild palettes, and I do bust them out and use them and make a point to use them. I just have so many, and I haven't gotten around to this one yet. I've heard good and bad from this one, but this one is permanent, so you can get this one in the drugstore. Okay, the next ones that I have are all from Christmas and summer collections, and they don't, some of them have names, some of them don't, but these are the palettes that look like this, and they come with these shimmer shades on top, and then you get 3 shades right here, and then these deep dark, like, matte shades, and the color on these is just fantastic. I really like these palettes. I actually liked these palettes so much when they came out for Christmas a few years ago that I went back and got them for my family. Now, I will say the shadows are powdery and they're going to have a lot of kick up, but they've got great pigmentation and blend really well. This one is called the No Neutral Ground palette. This was part of Christmas, I believe, 2013 or 2014. I can't remember. And then we have a Great Glistener. This was part of that same collection, just kind of more on the blue side. Really great matte black and matte brown. And then the more colorful one is called Lights Camera Attraction, which is more, you know, blues and purples. And again, just great pigmentation in these. I did hear a lot of people talk about these. I do love these shimmery shades. I just think they're fun palettes. And again, I love going back and using these great little palettes. And then these, I believe, are part of a summer collection, and I found them at the dollar store. These don't have names. They're just called the Wet n Wild Color Icon Eyeshadow Medleys. And again, I really like these colors. These are beautiful. You've got this beautiful burgundy, this purple. Again, these blacks, these deep dark matte shades in here are really, really good. And then this one is, I did one of my first tutorials with, and I was really, really proud of it. If I can remember any of these that I've done tutorials with, I'll link down below. This, I love this palette. This purple is amazing. This bronzy shade, I mean burgundy shade, so good. I mean, just random little eyeshadow palettes in the drugstore. And so I like these. I like these a lot. All right, the next ones that I have are from the summer collection this past year. Not this past year. is it this past year? I think this past year. And these are High Flying Colors, Temporary Solutions, and Boardwalk Boozing. These are in the same format as like the permanent 8-pan palettes. These are okay. They're not the best colors I've ever seen come out of Wet n Wild. They are powdery, but you do get decent pigmentation with them. Definitely very, very workable, and I like these a lot. So, and these I have even still seen in stores. Next, let's move on to the summer collection from a couple of years ago. These came out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 little trios. We have No Scalpers Allowed, which is just really pretty purples. We have Lost My Wristband, which has some really gorgeous matte shades in there. Like this matte green is really, really nice. Again, these are going to be powdery, but I can deal with powdery if it's got pigmentation. So really nice. This one is Who's Carpooling. This reminds me of the Earth trio from a while ago. Again, really, really good pigmentation on these. I don't know why people hate powdery shadows. Powdery doesn't necessarily mean bad, and there's a difference between powdery and chalky. So these shadows you can definitely make work. Then we have Standing My Campground, which is a really pretty neutral palette. Something to Rave About, which is some really interesting colors in there. I like the yellow in that one. And then Sunset to Go, and this one had definitely got some use out of me. You know, I love those colors. I know I love a palette when I have the embossing worn down, and this orange is definitely worn down in this one. This is a great palette. This with just the brow bone. I mean, they're all matte, and they're just, again, just great pigmentation, great little palettes. The next palettes I have are from the Silver Lake collection, and these were actually 6-pan palettes. These are awesome. I just think these are fantastic little palettes. I love this one. This one's called California Roll. Just some really unique colors with between the greens and the oranges. Love that one. This one I know is a big favorite of a lot of people. This is Vinyl Collection. It's really, really beautiful. These shades in here are just, I mean, I'm going to be all swatched out. Are just really, really pretty, gorgeous fall colors. This one I actually created a look that I really liked, and I never put it up, so I need to refilm it. I need to get back in my Wet n Wild Wednesdays. But this one is called Vegan Culture. Just some beautiful dreamy blues in there. This one was probably the one I liked least from this collection, and it's called Embrace Obscurity. But, you know, again, very usable. Just wasn't my preference. And then this one was probably my favorite. And this one was called Thrift Store Chic, which just has the purple, the rosy pinky tones. Really pretty. Now let's get into some of the old school trios. And again, some of these aren't opened because when they were going out, I wanted to pick them up just because I do collect them and just haven't busted into these in particular yet. This one is called I've Got Good Jeans, and it's just got some really unique, like a deep navy, a light denim color, and that gold. This one I love. This is one of the first ones I got. This is called Spoiled Brat. Such a fun one. This is a great, like, crazy party trio. That black is super, super chunky, but, you know, it's a black with glitter in it. So that's that one. There's some in here that are just iconic and as neutral palettes, and you can still find in the drugstore. And if you are looking to pick up some Wet n Wild and you just want some good colors that you can wear every day, these are ones that I would recommend. This one's called Sweet as Candy. Again, very nice, very wearable. They all have a little bit of a sheen to them, but it's not something to where it would prohibit you from wearing it in your crease or underneath the brow bone. This one is Knock on Wood. This one is just a beautiful deeper rosier brown trio. This one is called On Cloud 9. I haven't opened this one up yet, but again, just some blues and browns in there. You can't get these anymore. These have been discontinued. And I'm getting Sunburned, which I don't believe you can get anymore either, but just really gorgeous. I like this shade up here. Moving on with the 3-pan palettes, we have I Dream of Greeny, which is just a beautiful array of greens. These little 3-pan palettes, if you ever run across them at a TJ Maxx or anything like that, I just think they're so much fun, and they're such an affordable way to add color to your collection, because Wet n Wild really does unique colors to the drugstore. This next one is called Cool as a Cucumber. Really beautiful with the greens and the purples. I did a look that I really liked out of this one too. This one is Walking on Eggshells. This is a cult classic. Everybody loves this one. Super easy, super neutral. Just, you can still get it in the drugstore. And then this one is called Silent Treatment. This is another cult classic that people like. And people like these because you can get a complete look out of these little trios, which I think is extremely beneficial. And then this one is called Don't Steal My Thunder, and it's just for like a traditional smoky eye. Just a white, a silver, and a black. Oh guys, I forgot this one. This one is I'm Feeling Retro. I really like this one as well. So next, let's move on to the 5-pan palettes that they've got this new format out. The ones I'm going to talk about, I don't have all of these in their line because these just don't appeal to me quite as much. But I do have quite a few. And the first one is called I'm His Breezy. And I think people like these a little bit more because these are kind of hit or miss within the palettes. But these tend to be more complete palettes because you've got a nice mix of mattes and shimmers in here. But that's I'm His Breezy. This one is called Art in the Streets. I did a tutorial with this one that I really liked, one of my first tutorials, but just some great matte colors in here. Again, another matte orange. You've got a purple, you've got a green, yellow. I mean, they're not the highest quality shadows, but when it comes to making some colors work in the drugstore, these are not bad little shadows. That one has actually got a lot of use for me. This one is just a great neutral palette. This is called The Naked Truth. So I like this one a lot because you've got a matte base and then you've got a nice matte brown crease color, and then you just have some beautiful kind of accent colors. So this is definitely more of a just complete palette that you can get a look out of. So definitely not as pigmented, but I do like that little quad for a very simple, or quint for a very simple look. All right, let's move on to some that were limited edition. The first one we have is High-Waisted Jeans, which is kind of just a more shimmery, toned down version of I'm His Breezy. That was part of a fall collection a couple years ago. Then we have Angels in Aubergine. This is definitely more of a smoky, warm, smoky eye type of palette. This one is beautiful. This is called Smoke and Melrose. So kind of a Lorac Unzipped type of feel with that one. And then these were from holiday or fall, I can't remember. The first one is A Carrot in the World, which is just golden browns. Then we have Venice Vixen. I'm trying to fly through these guys. It's like you don't realize how much you have. The Gallery Next Door, which is just really pretty pink neutrals. And then Girls Just Want to Have Funs, and it's green. I love their names. I think they cute. So then let's move on to spring collection from last year. We have To Indio I Go Go, which is these are light, beautiful pastels, and then the New Romantics. I think of Easter when I look at these. These are definitely more kind of accent palettes with some beautiful shimmers in there that you'd pack on the lid, but I think they're very glowy, beautiful, soft, feminine palettes. The next ones I have are from holiday of last year, and this is called I believe it's the Stay Wild collection or something like that, but these were the little trios that were all named after songs. This is Bohemian Rhapsody. We've got Freestyle Rap, Rapper's Delight, and then Busta Rap. And these I did like these. I think these again are more of like accent palettes because you're going to have some great shades in here, and then you're going to have some really super chunky shades. Like this one's really, really pretty. This one's super chunky, and then this one's just, you know, kind of okay. Let's see. So these really just kind of completely had a wide range of textures and qualities, and what I use these for, especially last year, is the glittery shades. I would just use them as toppers on my eye looks for holiday parties and things like that. So again, definitely not one of their best lines they've come out with. All right, so now I have an old school one. This is the Pride palette. I love this. I did one of my favorite tutorials ever with this palette. Just beautiful, gorgeous. You've got one row that's matte, one row that's shimmer. And then to go along with that, I do have the Lust palette, which again is beautiful, just purpley tones. This one is called Darling Downtown. This is an all shimmer palette. very smoky. This came out with a holiday collection, I believe, and then Melrose at Night, which came out with that fall collection, which is just a beautiful, again, warm, rosy, neutral palette. Right, guys, I do have a bunch of these fantasy makers because I'm 5 and I like glitter, and I do reach for these every now and then depending on what I'm doing. They're not bad little palettes. I mean, they're like with their singles now, the glitter does go all the way through, but I have Snow Queen. These came out Halloween of last year. I have Egyptian Queen. I have Fairy Flight, which I believe came out 2 years ago. Widow Queen was last year. I think of Snow White when I see that. Stars and Snipes. This was from 2 years ago. And then Queen of the Dead. So if you like Halloween looks, if you like glitter looks, these are not bad. They're not the greatest, but you can definitely make them work. Next, let's talk about the Fergie Quints that came out. I really liked these. I thought they were great and just enjoyed them. I actually did a look with this one. This is called Camo Couture or Camouflage Couture. Just beautiful greens. Again, I'm going to try any look that I did with any of these. I'm going to try and link down below. This one, again, is another really just glittery palette. This one is called After Midnight, and you just have some really pretty glittery shades in here. These are actually not too bad. So again, definitely something, these are, again, shades I consider you put over a base to really get that glitter to pop. It's not the first thing I reach for, but yeah, I thought I'd try it. The next one I have is In Full Bloom, which is just beautiful. Again, Easter pastels. The next one I have is called Duchess Lounge, and it's beautiful, just smoky purples. I love this one. This one's called Desert Festival, very fall, autumn appropriate. I love the looks I get out of this palette. And then the last one I have is called Maldives Sky, which just has some really beautiful matte, interesting shades in it. All right, guys, I only have 4 more palettes, I promise. So those are the Tin Pan palettes from Fergie. Now, again, these have been repurposed and relaid. Now, this one I believe is called Coming in Latte now. Mine is called Milano Collection. I love this palette. I think it is great palette. I think it's one of the most complete palettes in the drugstore. You can do cool looks, matte looks, warm looks, glam looks, everyday looks. I think this is a great palette. This one is definitely more of a niche palette. This is going to be for people who really like those purple smoky eyes. Mine is called Paris Runway, but I can't remember what the new one is called. Then I have this one, which I heard nobody talk about, but is beautiful. This one is called Lunch in San Paulo, but some of these are just so super pretty. Just, again, really, really unique shades that you don't see in the drugstore all the time. And this was very limited edition. I didn't hear anybody talk about those. And then the final palette I have is called Au Naturel, and this one is in Bare Necessities. These are the Walmart exclusives. These are supposed to be dupes for the Naked palettes. I do like these. I like the mattes in here, and what I'll do is bring this palette in to help out with some of the other palettes, just like I do with Milano Collection. All right, everybody, so those are all of my Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes. I used to do a series on here called Wet n Wild Wednesday where I would just do a full face of Wet n Wild, do an eye look, just so you guys could bring out the palettes, because if you're like me, you just go in, you grab some because they're inexpensive, and then you forget that you have them. So if that's the case and you would interested in seeing tutorials for any of these, let me know and I can bring that series back, or I can just do tutorials for any of the palettes that you're interested in. But as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. Let me know what your favorite Wet n Wild palettes are down below. Let me know if you like these collection videos, and if you do, we'll keep doing them, and if not, we don't have to do them at all. But as always, guys, thank you so much. You guys have an amazing day. Have a rockin' week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.